Join Tarcia on this journey to discover the rest. Go.
Welcome to the Adoption Journey Podcast. I am your host, Tarcia Smith, and welcome back to another journey and another story. Before I get started, you all know to like, share, follow, subscribe, do all the things and all the places. And also, Black Adoptees Meetup. We're meeting up in October in Chicago, Illinois, October 3rd through the 5th. And go check out the website, blackadopteesmeetup.org. Check out the IG page. Keep up with this, okay? Now, all that's out of the way. I have a fellow adoptee, and his name is Wilson Guenther.
Yep.
Did I pronounce that right? Okay.
Yep.
And he is going to tell us his story. He is a transracial adoptee. Hey, Wilson.
Hey.
He's so laid back. He's so laid back. I can't stand
I usually record my own podcast, so I'm really comfortable right here.
You're so comfortable, and I love it.
I'm comfortable where I'm at right now. So, yeah, I want to say thank you so much for having me on. I'm very honored that you sent me an invite. And I'm really happy to be here, and I can't wait to share my story. Hopefully it connects to anybody out there. And do I just start talking about it? Like, do you ask me questions?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question because I hear that it's interesting that I'm hearing the accent when you speak. So I know that you are from Haiti. How long were you in Haiti?
I was in Haiti for 10 years.
Ah, okay.
10 years. I lived there for 10 years, and I've been in America for 11 years.
Okay, that's why I'm hearing the accent.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk about your time in Haiti? What was that like for you? What do you remember?
Okay, so I lived in Haiti for 10 years, like I said. And for 6 years of living there, I lived with my mom, my biological mom. We were struggling, of course, because, Haiti's a fourth world country. And I remember I had my dad living with us at the time. And this is where everything, I feel like this is where my brain started remembering stuff. But I remember the first memory I've ever had of anything was my dad dying in some electrical accident. And after that, when my family really spiraled down, and my mother was having all of her kids work to go find, even I was working. I was like 6 years old at the time, and I was working. And
how many siblings do you have?
I in the top of my head, I can think of like 4 or 5.
Okay.
But I know there's more because every now and then I get somebody on Facebook or Instagram hit me up say, "Oh, Wilson, I'm your brother, and I know your mother," and they will say my mother's name. I'm like, because I know my mother has a lot of kids over there, and she had a few, baby daddies, and so yeah, I live with her. It's just how it is.
Okay, so you were working even at 6, things were going bad. And keep telling me about what you remember as a little boy, because you're a kid. You're little.
I was very, very little, but I remember before the earthquake happened, we were all working, and then right when the earthquake hit, it was like a major disaster. Like everybody was out of their home, everybody was living in tents. People actually were living in tents in Haiti up to like 5 years ago. And the earthquake happened in 2010 or 2011.
Yeah, it was 2010. I remember it. I remember it well.
Big project that the Haitian government had to remove all the tents 5 years ago. But I remember living in a tent outside my house for like 6 months because we couldn't be able to go in. My mom was really struggling financially. So at the time she decided to go look for orphanages. I was her youngest at the time, so she wanted me to have a better life somewhere else. So we started going like orphanage shopping, like home shopping.
Orphanage shopping is wild.
Yeah, it's very wild. I remember she was trying to find me a new home, a safe place, and I remember that we went to like 2 different orphanages, and then we ended up at the orphanage that I got adopted up from, which is called Maison. Maison des Enfants de Dieu. It means the house of God's children.
Okay, so you're shopping for an orphanage because she intends to leave you there.
Yes.
So you're still little. Mm-hmm. Do you know what that means? That she's getting ready to drop you off? Do you really understand?
Well, at the time when I was little, I was just like, okay, well, we just going to different places. I'm like, there's a bunch of kids at these places we're going. I didn't know what kind of business they were or what kind of establishment they were. But I remember when we landed to our last place, I didn't know, this really made me think like she was literally looking for anything good to just leave me there, Because when we landed on our last place, she talked to the orphanage director, and she did all the paperwork, and then she comes back and she said, "Wilson, I am going to get you soda and snacks." And I'm like, "Okay, mommy." And as she was walking away, I remember her looking back, waving at me with tears running down her eyes, and she was waving bye. I'm like, why is she doing that? And I realized it clicked in. She was never coming back. Like she was just leaving me there. Right? Actually, she did come back because they had visited on Saturdays. They would the biological family would come visit and bring food to their kid and see if they've been
Okay.
adopted, just to check up on them. But like at that time, I was like, oh my gosh, she's never coming back. I will never talk to her again. And I started running, chasing after her, and and then like the gate started closing like very
Oh, like a
dramatically.
movie.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I still remember bawling out for like 3 hours straight. And
Sure.
then came and gave me food. And then I came down. It took food to calm me down. So, and after that, it was okay.
Was it though?
I
So
mean,
how?
how it is, but at the time, at the time, she came to visit every other Saturday. And then we maintained communication. We still maintain communication to this day on WhatsApp, actually. She actually just
So
right before
when
her
she
house.
comes to visit on Saturdays, little kid, I'm sure you want to go every
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah. And
Because I
how does she explain to you, or what does she say to say, you got to stay here?
She's like, Wilson, how you doing, my son? I hope everything is well. I live you here because I want the best for you. I didn't think it was the best for me at the time. I want the best for you. Life at home is really hard. There's gang
Hmm.
violence, and I just want you in a safe place. And I'm like, oh no, you just hate me. You just hate me. And then
Oh,
after a few visits, I got used to it. I got used to seeing her, and then we got more comfortable. I let all those grudges down, and then I got really comfortable. I started establishing a life at the orphanage and started talking to more people and just becoming a pillar at the orphanage. And I just let myself completely submerge myself in the orphan life, and I got used to it.
orphan life. So
Hmm.
what was orphan life like?
Well, I came with a lot of siblings. It came with a lot of kids in your situation. It made it easier because there was a bunch of kids my age in my situation, so I got to grow
Hmm.
up alongside of them. I spent 4 years at the orphanage before I got adopted, so I got to grow up with them and learn a lot of new things with them. We went to school together, we ate together, we together, really close proximity, and so
Sure.
they became my brothers and sisters, and that was my life. We woke up every day, did something new, and then a bunch of little kids running around, no
Yeah.
worries.
So I'm trying to visualize the orphanage. So do you just stay there? Do you go someplace else to go to school and then come back? Like what? Give me a visual. What does that
So
look like?
when I was there at the time, we would have we actually had a school at the orphanage. It's a nice little campus.
Okay.
It's small, but good enough because the kids were really small. And we had the building. It was called Lick School. That means school in Creole. Lick Hall.
Say again. Say it again.
Lick Hall means school
Okay.
in
I'm
French.
learning another language, y'all. I'm learning.
I remember it would actually be right, the school was right above the rooms we slept in. So we would
Ah,
literally walk up the stairs and go to class.
okay.
And that was it. And we'd be at school for like a few hours of the day, and then we would have some activities planned, and then we would eat and then go to sleep. That was pretty much what I remember about it.
So, um, you're there for 4 years. Walk me through how you get adopted. Like, what, do you even know that's a possibility
Yeah.
that you
Um,
could leave one day?
yes, actually, that was one of the ways they tried to persuade me that this was the best place for me. It's like,
Ah,
oh, they'd be like, blonde people will come and adopt you. Blonde means white. They would say like blonde people. I can't remember the exact sentence because I'm not
blonde people?
blanc. Blanc means white.
Blah,
Blanc.
white, blah.
So what I remember is like they
Well,
would
do you
try.
want black people to come and adopt you? Or do you
Uh,
just want anybody to come and adopt you?
I didn't. Anybody could have come and adopted us because we had like missionaries from all over the. It would be groups and teams who would come to the orphanage and they would do activities with the kids. They
Okay.
would always like host BBSs. They would do vacation Bible school stuff like that, and then this activity would come to celebrate Christmas or whatever holiday it is with us. And then they would get to know the kids, and they would be like, "Okay, this is the kid I want to take home with me." And they would
Okay.
ask the kid, like, this is how I remember my adoption process. So I remember my mom is a major pillar, still to this day. She's like the director now, but she came in here. This was her second trip. I remember she got used to me. We got real close, and then my dad was there too. And then one day they brought me to a room. They were like, "We would love to be your mom and dad. Would you accept us as your mom and dad?" I'm like, "Okay." And then next thing you know, the adoption process started. It took 3 years for me to get adopted. The process took forever. The adoption process was really bad over there, but Yeah, 3 years
Okay,
later is when I came home.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is it not, or was it not feasible for your mom to get you back, or is that not the plan? You get dropped off at the orphanage,
Yeah.
and then the plan is you're going to get adopted. You are just not going back.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the so yeah, like once you drop off the kid, you hand over guardianship to the orphanage,
All
and
right.
they're
Okay.
now in the full custody in the orphanage, and then the orphanage starts to putting the kids' names out in the systems that
Got you.
this is the kids that need to be adopted, and they start doing paperwork and all of that. And we just wait for missionaries to come, or they have Facebook, and then they just start the adoption process. It's a very extensive, thorough adoption process because there's a lot of Haiti's a big hub for kid trafficking, human trafficking and child
Okay.
trafficking, and it's a really big hub for it. It's really, really bad. Kids get abducted every day by just going outside. So
Wow.
they're very thorough that somebody's not gonna come and just take the kids and take
Just
them to like sex traffic or something like that. So that's why the adoption process took very long. And
okay.
also, Obama was president at the time, and he
Yeah.
had a lot of stuff in place against adoption, especially from foreign countries.
Hmm.
So that's what really hinders the process.
Now, you're about 10 years old now, 10, 11, 10,
When I
right
get
at
to
this point?
when I get to yeah, at the end of the process, at the end of the adoption process, I was 10 or 11. I would say 10 or 11 because right now I'm 21. So yeah,
Okay. So at 10, and I don't know if you can answer this, how are you feeling about all this? Do you
it
remember?
was yes, I remember it very clearly because at the time I was like, okay, this is awesome. I get to go to America. Life is all dandy and sweet. I can't wait. I
Ah,
can't wait to be in America. I can't wait to be with my new
wh-
family, my new brothers and sisters.
what did you know about America? What picture
I
did they
thought it was
paint for you
heaven.
guys?
I remember I thought it was heaven. That's how I thought of it. I thought like everything's over there. That everybody's super duper rich. There's no problems. There's no tribulation. Everybody just gets along.
Oh,
There's
oh,
nothing going on that's bad. I can't wait to be in America.
oh, wow. Your other, yeah, you dug a nice little hole for yourself, didn't you?
Yes.
Your other friends or brother and sisters, as you call them, that you grew up with, did they get adopted as well and go to America? Or are they going to other countries, or do you know?
Um. Yes, actually, because like I said, we have adoption. We got missionaries and teams that come from all over the world, from
Hmm.
France to I'm talking about everywhere. I can't even name it. Russia, China. We have people. I have friends and family, with brothers and sisters all over the world right now. England, I have them there
Love
too.
that.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of kids who don't get adopted, or the parents give up on the adoption process. Unfortunately, that happens. Like there's like these three twins I know who I grew up with in the orphanage. They're still there right now, and they're the same age as me.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put a pin in your story for a second. I didn't even think about that. What happens when they don't get adopted, and then do they age out of the system and then they end up on the street? Like what happens?
So what the way they do it is like, it's just like America.
Okay.
They age out of the system. So what we do, we would start finding jobs for them around Haiti and stuff like that. Like they're still capable. They're still able to go to America if they have a sponsor.
Okay.
So what we do is just try to find a way to establish them and get them like a life. Like the street twins. We
Mm.
have one of them who's actually practically the orphanage director now. He does a lot of stuff for the orphanage. He works as a security guard, and there's other twins who do other stuff. Like, but yeah, there's still a lot of the kids that were there with me 11 years ago that are still there. Like,
Mm.
well, technically, I would say 14 years ago, 15 years ago, that are still there.
Still there.
They are
Wow.
still there.
Okay, so tell me about the day that you came to America. Because I know you remember. You seem to
I
remember everything.
I remember getting on a plane. We flew JetBlue, and that was just surreal. I've never been in a plane in my life. This is when I really discovered I do not like heights. I don't like heights at all until this day. And I remember the plane like just like the runway and then taking off.
Yeah.
I was just like back
Oh.
my eyes. I was like, ain't no way. I was looking up and then the AC was coming down to me hard. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so. here. 'Cause Haiti doesn't have AC. The airport was the coldest thing, and the plane was even colder. And the flight was very.
Wait, did you say Haiti doesn't have AC? Is
No, they
that
don't
what you
have
just said?
indoor AC like that. It would be like maybe a unit that would, they
Oh,
would use
like a window
fire at the
unit,
store. Yeah,
but
like a
not like
window
central.
unit.
Okay, okay,
Even
okay.
it, like maybe if you were living a higher life, but like I remember we
Gotcha.
had an AC in
Orphanage
our
had a
room.
window unit.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
broke. Actually, I don't think it ever worked my whole duration at the orphanage, and we would use a fan that would always break.
Oh, so y'all were just hot. Okay.
I have a blanket right now. Actually, I have two different blankets on
I
me
see
right
you
now.
with your blanket.
Yeah, and the fan is on 2 speed, so that shows you how sensitive I am to cold.
What part of America do you go to?
Did I go to? So my family's from Texas, so we came to Texas,
Okay.
and we've lived in the same city, San Marcos, Texas, for like all my time here in America so far. We've moved around every now and then.
Yeah.
My parents are not originally from here. My dad was originally from Colorado, and my mom's from
Okay.
Victoria. She was born in Texas, she's born and raised in Texas, but my dad's from
It's Texas,
Colorado,
yeah.
and yeah, we stay
So
in
you get
Texas.
to Texas where everything is big in Texas. So what do you remember
Oh
when you
my gosh, I
first
remember actually back to the airport. We land at the airport. What's this called? What's the thing you have to do when you come into the country? I forgot it.
when you got to go through customs and
Customs,
because you're
yeah,
coming out of
customs
the
just where
country?
I'm like,
Yeah.
is this all America is? Customs, all of this booths that we have to go to and talk to people who look dead in the eyes all day. But I remember we make it past that. We go in the airport. One of the things that really fascinated me was the escalator.
The escalator. I knew. Why did I know you was getting ready to say the escalator?
Escalator. I'm like, we going. I'm like, the stairs are moving. I didn't even notice. Like, fun fact, like this really actually was really cool to me. Like, I didn't know there was so many people there waiting for me. Like, I didn't even know that there were that many people till like years later. Like, I was
Yeah.
so fascinated by all of the technology, all the working lights and everything. That was like,
Working lights.
I was like, oh my gosh, you were there. Like, 'cause a lot of them are still my friends to this day. I'm like, you were there, you were there, you were there, and it was just like
All
a
you remember is the escalator
arm of the escalator, and I was ready to eat,
and
you know,
waiting to eat.
and waiting to eat.
You got an appetite.
I do. I eat a lot. I was cooking right before I got in this podcast.
I turned the camera. I was like, "What are you eating?"
I was eating bacon. I'm cooking pasta right now.
So, what? Okay, let me hold on because I got so many questions. Food, because you talked about it earlier. You said when your mom left you to calm you down, they gave you food, and that helped calm you down. So you get over here to Texas. What is your first American meal, and do you like it?
Oh, oh my gosh! Actually, my first ever American meal was actually made by my grandmother, I think, and she made it and left it at the house for us. And it was tomatillo chicken. Because my grandmother is a Native American. She's Chickasaw, full Chickasaw.
Okay.
And she made tomatillo chicken. That was
Mm-hmm.
my favorite food for about 2 years. And now I can't look at it no more because I ate it so
You ate
much. I
it so
ate
much.
everything. Now I cannot down nothing tomatillo. But it was tomatillo chicken and it was rice and beans and it was good. The rice and beans here in America are way different than the rice and beans in America. In Haiti. I
Right.
love the rice and beans in Haiti. American rice and beans, but Haitian food is number one in my heart and will always be number one in my heart. But that was the first meal I've had here in America.
So, how does your family help you transition from Haiti to America? Because now we're real different. The food is different. Your everything is different. So,
It was really a lot of patience on both sides that needed to happen. I was really young and I thought
yeah.
everything should be handed to because I'm in America now and then no more trials and tribulation, no more school, none of that, just here to have fun. But it was
Oh,
they
no. Wait, you thought you didn't have to go to school?
yes, like I thought I was like no, I did not think I had to go to school, but unfortunately they wanted me to be an upstanding citizen, so they started that path. And so we
Sarcasm.
I remember like it took a lot of work and patience. One of the first things they do, they try to get me comfortable with all the things around the house and how everything
Sure.
works. So they would put sticky notes on everything, right? Like yellow sticky notes. I remember this very vividly. They would put sticky notes with words on them, and they would these words they would put on them would be the object and then the Creole version of the object. Keep in mind, I did not know how to read, let alone my own language.
Oh, wait,
So
wait, wait. Rewind. Okay, what are you speaking English or Creole? What?
I was okay, so I knew how to speak both languages. I was fluent in both languages because I would speak to
Okay.
the Americans all the time, and I learned from them. I speak three
Okay.
languages when I was in Haiti. It was French, Creole, and English. And I didn't even know I could speak three languages until I got to America. Because Creole and French sound very, very similar. Creole is more of like a rough French, a very rough French.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know I was speaking two different languages until I got here, and then because I
Okay.
would like autumn because in Haiti they stream everything in French. They stream everything in French.
Okay.
Everything on
Okay.
TV is in French, and I always thought that was weird because we speak Creole. Because I always noticed when I was like, oh, it's a little different, but I didn't put two and two together until I got to America.
Okay.
But like
And
the sticky notes did not work because I could not read. I could not read in Creole or French. You know.
but you went to school in the orphanage and they weren't teaching y'all how
Yeah,
to
we
read?
weren't really exactly learning anything. I am not gonna lie, because when I get to America, because I was
Wait,
in fifth grade
wait
over
a
there,
minute. Wait, what was happening at the school?
it was a whole lot of there was the teachers were really teaching their best. I was just not retaining anything. Like
Ah,
I learned a lot of math. I learned a lot of I knew my ABCs. There was some words I could pronounce, but like I wasn't there yet. I was just like starting out school over there. I was really young. I was 10, 9 years,
yeah,
8 years
yeah, yeah.
old. And it was just not the best education because it would be just one teacher teaching like 40,
All the
50
grades.
kids, yeah, all the grades, everything, and it was just not the best, you know. Some kids
Okay.
who actually went to the schools in Haiti were way better off because some kids would come with the education, but me, I was like 6 when I got there, and I started my education in the orphanage, so
Right.
I was not at the best place. So when I
Sure.
came to America, they had me restore everything from first grade all the way to fourth grade. I actually did first to fourth grade in 1 year.
So wait, did your parents know you couldn't read or did they find out?
No, because like I remember when I first noticed the sticky notes, my dumb mom and dad were like looking at it. They were like, huh. I was like, and I looked at them, I'm like, huh. I'm like, oh, and I was like, "Where pa come in?" I was like, I don't know. I was like, I cannot read. And then they're like, oh, and they started running around frantically going to take all the stickers off and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah. The gesture was very kind though. Like, I just can't read.
You said they were like, you were like,
Yes, I just can't read. So thank you.
so that's hilarious. What do they do to get you to start
So
reading?
we started out
Because you
homeschooling.
don't want to go to school, remember? You're like, I'm here to chill. What y'all talking
Oh,
about?
chill, chill. So like they decided to start me on homeschool. They started getting some,
Ah, okay.
some of the child development books they have at stores,
Sure.
and then they started teaching me how to read and write, and that's when I started really picking it up. And then like a year later or later that year, they decided to enroll me in school, and they put me in fourth grade. But they told the school that I had no basis. I had no base of education, so they had me doing first grade, second, third, and like it was I don't know what kind of school it, but it was like books. It was books that you had to be writing. It's called ACEs Paces, and what we do is like we would do it and we'd do an assignment and would like you could not move to the next book until you finish everything in that book, and then the book would get harder, harder, and harder, and then we go to the next grade, and then it was just I did
So
like all.
how you feeling now that you got here and reality is starting to kind of set in?
Well, I am now 21 and I'm about to start my
No, no, no,
junior.
not now. I mean, at this point, like
Yeah,
when you're
and
learning how to go to
it got me
school.
doing school. And I remember I was so hard headed, and my mother was like had to teach me. She had to like learn that patience, and because we were both yelling at each other, and like I don't know, you better learn this. Was you're not leaving this table until you get this.
Oh
And
no.
because she also had to discipline me the same way she disciplined her own kids. She had to. We all got whooped growing up. Everybody got whooped. So
Okay, so how many
this,
kids do they have?
they had 3 kids. They have three
Okay.
kids. I have my two little sisters, Grace and Faith. They're twins. They're 20 years old now. And then my older brother, he's 24. He's married now. He lives in Tennessee.
Oh,
And
y'all
we
are
were,
close in age, you and the set of
yeah,
twins.
yeah. So I was
So how do you adjust to the kids? What's
Well,
that like?
I was already used to having a bunch of kids living with me in a very tight place, but there was a lot more room in the house, way more room. So I was used to having a lot of kids around me. But my brother, who I roomed with, was not. He was living with him. We were besties when he would come visit me in Haiti, but it took a minute for him to get comfortable with me. I was his biggest op, his enemy when I was living with him. He did not like me using his stuff. He had to get used to sharing, you know.
Yeah, because
And
he
my
was the only boy.
it was the
He
only
had to
boy.
share his stuff with those little girls.
Yeah.
And then here you come.
And here I come touching, messing up everything. I was a very wild child. I'm still very wild, but like I was just too much in his space for him, you know. So he did not like that.
So you go to school first through fourth, and then now you're going. So you go first through fourth, and then the next grade you go fifth grade.
Yeah. Next grade,
Okay,
actually, I did 1 year fifth grade. I homeschooled, and then sixth grade all the way to high school and
you go to
college.
school.
Yeah,
Okay.
we school.
So when you go to the American school, and I know that you are already being homeschooled and all this stuff, but what's that like for you? Because this is your first time going to a school building, an establishment, since you were at the orphanage. Was
Yeah.
that a hard transition for you?
Um, my sister fifth is here, but
Hi, sister.
hi sister, hello. But I it was very hard at first, but I've been a social butterfly my whole life. So making friends and all of that was very easy to me. So those friends really helped me along the way.
Ah,
And I'm on podcasts, and they helped me along the way, and they made it really easy to just really get comfortable with the system and how things work in America. So I'm grateful to those friends. Some of them I still talk to them to this day.
how how did you learn how to? Because you were young when you left Haiti. How did you learn how to retain some of your culture? Did your parents help you? Were they still immersing you in it, or is it
Yes.
just stuff that you just like the cooking, for an example? You love food. How did you hold on to that?
So my parents were always adamant about making sure I always stay true to my culture and know my culture and be a part of it. So that my mom would attempt to make Haitian food.
Oh,
So bless her
are you
heart.
laughing at mom? Don't
Oh,
laugh at
yes,
mom.
I'm laughing at Mama G. And I remember when the first one she was trying to make Haitian rice and beans, and it was so soggy. I was like,
Oh,
I love the gesture.
you are a comedian.
I love the gesture, but
Sure.
like, let's not do this again. You know, if you're gonna make a play, you might as well pack my bags. I'll go back to Haiti. But I love that they were very encouraging about keeping my culture. They made sure I called my parents at least once a week and once a month, as often as I wanted to, because they wanted me to immerse myself in the family and stuff like that. So they make sure that I stay true to my culture. Like at January 1st, that's when we Haitians celebrate. It's a big day for Haitian. We always
Hmm.
celebrate that.
Hmm.
They celebrate. They let me. I celebrate the Haitian Independence Day and all of that.
Hmm.
And yes, they were very adamant that I stay true and know my culture and know where I'm from. They didn't try to
Okay.
remove me. They didn't try to seclude me. They just make sure of that.
Now, the town that you grew up in, where you grew up, is it a mixed area or is it predominantly white or?
Actually, it's predominantly Hispanic. It's called San Marcos, so it's
Okay.
predominantly
Okay.
Hispanic.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it is very Hispanic. So there's a lot of minorities. It's very mixed. It's very mixed, but it's predominantly Hispanic.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a very big.
Okay.
It's a booming town. It's grown. It's
Okay.
come a long way since I got here.
I want to ask you about your birth mothers. Now you're in America, and I know you said that you keep in contact.
Hmm.
So the first, like, how did that happen? That first interaction, like, do they let the parent know, hey, he's been
Yeah,
adopted, he's in the United States?
yeah. My parents. Yeah, yes, they do. They contact them. They call them, and then my parents. Actually, my biological parents met my parents before we even went to America.
Oh,
Yes, we went to visit their house before
okay.
we went to America.
Okay.
And, yeah, and every time, actually, we would actually the first year. Actually, the first year I was in America, actually, it was maybe a month after we came back to Haiti. They took me back to go visit my friends and visit my Haitian family, and we did that for like 4 or 5 years until COVID. And
Okay.
I haven't visited Haiti since COVID-19, but because also Haiti's in turmoil, the president got Haiti's in complete chaos right
Yeah,
now,
yeah. Hmm.
and so yeah, they make sure like I keep in contact with my family. They and my mom has my mom's phone number. Both moms talk to each other, and yeah,
And Wilson is your given name that your birth mother gave you.
yeah. I think that's the name they chose for me when I was in the orphanage. But when I was in, I don't know if it was a nickname, but I remember being called Son Son when I was living with my biological family. They would call me like when my parents like when they text me, they call me Son Son. They don't call me. They never refer to me by my American or my orphanage given name. They call me Son Son.
What does that mean something? Or is it just,
Oh, I don't know.
oh, okay.
No,
You just
I
know
don't
that
know.
that's
I
okay.
just went with it. I didn't really have a choice.
Okay. So what
Mhm.
made you make the video with your parents and then everybody was like, "Wait, those are your parents?"
Which video are you referring to? Because I've made a bunch of those.
Well, the first one I saw, they were in the kitchen and they were
Oh,
loving each other and you was like, "Wait a minute."
oh yeah. That one actually. Fun fact, I don't know a lot of people know this, but most of my videos are based on reality. So like if something happens, I just recreate it and I add my own comedic twist to it. So my mom and dad will generally forget that they adopt me sometimes. Like they'll be like, so they like before I recorded that video, they were like in the kitchen, they were like being loving, they're like being loving. I was like, oh, stop doing that. I'm about to record a TikTok, and they were like, how do you think you got here? I'm like, a U.S. visa, and like, and
That's
then.
what I saw.
And then my mom was like, "Wait, wait, wait! Record that. Let's redo it. It'll do well." And I did that, and then yeah, it just blew up.
It, that's the one that I saw and I was like, "Now that is hilarious." And I'm
Mm.
sure at that point, because I know like your circle would know, but I'm sure the internet was like, "Wait, those are your parents? Your parents are white? Your parents are..." How did your
Yeah,
parents feel about that blowing up? Because everyone and especially in the adoption world, everyone's very interested in the white family that has adopted the black child. And it's just very intriguing to people. How did your parents feel about that?
like about the video or just like
That
the reaction they were getting from
the
people.
reaction that you were getting.
Well, like I said, I've had many videos where I've done that. I started making content about 4 or 5 years ago now, and they're very used to it. Actually, it's been their whole life. Like before I even picked up a camera to start making a video, we would go out in public. Then people would look at us weird. People would be like,
Sure.
"Okay, that's your son. Why is she always with this black child? Who is this woman? Who is this? Is this kid in danger?" They would have people. Sometimes I would get people like, "Are you okay? Who's this woman?" Or they would go to my mom, whose child is this? You know what I'm saying? So it's always been pretty normal. And then I started making videos about it. And then one of the first videos we've ever made was just that was the only question they would ask. And my caption was like, um, acting like my mom. And then I come in, and then my camera shifts to my mom, and then they go back to me. They'd be like, just try to put it two and two together. Hum, that's your mother? And then
Right.
I'm like, bang, ding, 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 ding. I started making a bunch of videos like that. And next thing you know, videos after videos, video after
Video
video.
after video after video.
Yeah.
I love that you're bringing some normalcy to it
Yeah.
because it's common. And but I saw you because I saw you just not like in the quote unquote adoption community. It was just a video that landed on my page. And and I started looking. I'm like, this is so cool that he's bringing some normalcy to it. And I love your story because everybody doesn't have the greatest story when it comes to leaving their country and come. And you were so, you were older. You weren't a baby when you
Yeah.
left the country. So thank you for bringing a normalcy to it. And now I'll ask the question, at 21, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm in college. Like I said, I'm about to be a junior in college. I'm studying business computer information system. I still talk to my family back in Haiti. I'm still very grateful. I talk to my mother like she gave birth to me, and she talks to me like I came out of her. Like she said, she was craving chocolate at the time, I guess. And like it's very normal. I know me and my siblings are very close. We're all best friends. My family is just close, very in general, and even in our community. I don't. It's just everybody around us in like probably 100-mile radius knows about us.
Sure.
It's, it's very normal. There's nothing. It's like it's always been to me. I go to school with all of my siblings. My brother graduated from my school like last 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My sisters are like actually living upstairs from me next year in my apartment.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a very tight knit family. It's nothing. It's been like that since I got here. We've always been super close. We watch movies together. We vacation together. Like I remember, actually, the last vacation we went on is we crashed. I decided that we were all gonna crash my parents' anniversary, so that's what we did. So we crashed my parents' anniversary, and yeah.
You are a prankster, I see. Now I'm going to ask a question. It might be a crazy question. Do you regret anything about your story? And I'm asking this because sometimes people go, I wish I would have stayed with my family. I wish I would have stayed in your case, in Haiti. Like, so do you regret anything, or are you glad that your life has ended up the way that it has?
Oh, I'm very glad and very fortunate that my
Mm-hmm.
glad my life has been,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm here now, because I wouldn't have been able to, because I've helped so many people with my story. I know I've affected so many people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that I'm here. It's gonna sound very brute, but I do not want to go back to Haiti. If I'm gonna go back to Haiti, it's to see my family and eat the Haitian food. I don't want to live there. I don't want to have anything to do outside of that in Haiti. But I'm really glad I'm here. I appreciate where I'm from. I appreciate what I've learned. I appreciate the people who got me to where I'm at. I appreciate my family for not only asking me but choosing me to be in their family. And it's just I'm glad to be here, and I can't wait for the future and see where I'm at. Hopefully my siblings will be at my wedding. I'm working hard right now so I can provide for both families, and that's just always who I am, who I've been. I live in the moment. I've learned to live in the moment and be glad of what I have, and just be present.
I love that. And you
Like
said
like,
wedding. Is there is there a wedding in the works
oh no,
or
no, I'm just saying.
oh
Oh, no, 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 no. I've only been dating this girl for 5 days. But no, like I'm just just, like they're that close that I see them in the picture,
I
you
get
know?
it. I get
You
it.
know?
Because I was like, wait, do we need to talk about this wedding that's coming? Not
No,
for
no,
in
no, no.
5 days. Not in
Yeah.
5 days.
Yeah. But yeah, I was in my brother's wedding. I was like his best man. So yeah, that's
I
what I
love
want.
that.
That's my vision of my family. I want to have a family like that because I plan to adopt when I'm married and have a wife. I plan to
Really?
adopt somebody from Haiti. Hmm.
I love that. I love that. So do you want to have your own kids or you just gonna adopt?
Oh
Or you
yeah, I'm
want
gonna
to
do
do
the same
both
thing, have my own kids, and then adopt. Probably it depends how many kids I have, but I will be adopting one kid from Haiti.
to give back?
But I'm probably gonna adopt really young because I know how sassy I was when I was 10 years old. So
Listen, I can see how
I'll adopt
sassy you
really
are
young.
now, 21, so I can only imagine. Poor mama.
Yeah, I was a very spunky kid. I never shied away from any conversation or stating my opinion. So I'm gonna make sure I get a baby because I know any kid I get is gonna be way worse than me.
Oh yeah, because it's coming back.
It's
Because I'm
coming back.
sure
My
the
mom
mama
said karma will
curse.
come and get me, and I believe
Yeah,
her. I always
one
said,
day.
yeah, but I keep it in the back of my head. I know how kids work.
Yeah, it's the
So,
mama curse. One day you're gonna have
okay,
somebody and they're gonna act just like you.
yeah, they will. They will.
I want to thank you so much for coming and telling your story, and it's exactly what I envisioned it would be. Because some stories are very sad, some stories are on fire, and
Mhm.
I just kind of knew that that wasn't what this was gonna be, and I
It is
love that
exactly
because
because you
everybody's
spoke.
story is not on fire, and that's okay,
Hmm.
and that is okay, and you are an example of that. Continue to do well. Congratulations on all your success, especially college. That's huge,
Yes.
given that you came here and could not read,
Yeah. Thank
and
you.
now look at you, just soaring. I love it.
Thank you
So
so much. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. And thank you so much for having a podcast like this, a channel like this, because I know there's a bunch of stories out there that are not as happy and cheery as mine. Like even I know some of my friends whose families just put them up in a shelter somewhere in America because they didn't want to deal with them. So thank you so much for
yeah,
having the podcast to share those stories, and no matter good or bad. So yeah,
good or
thank you.
bad,
Thank you for
you're
doing, and I will be watching and keeping up.
Thank you so much. Give me
Yeah.
1 second. Don't go anywhere. And on that note, bye, family.
Journey on. You need a pie with the good? Oh yeah, what is the one?